Hello everyone, welcome back to Z-Netted Videos. So basically, this is a very interesting topic I wanted to talk about. I wasn't sure if this would be a good idea, but I think I mentioned it in a video before. I was with my friend Zasuf. I think we talked about choices in Season 2 and how it'll carry over from Season 1. And I think I mentioned something about how they will most likely do small choices mattering in Season 2 because they want to make Season 2 in a way its own game, even though it's technically a sequel. But since it's been so long since the Wolf Among Us 1 release, I think it was 7 years, I think, don't quote me on that, but I want to talk about my opinion on how maybe Season 1 choices won't matter at all. Maybe it'll just be nothing. And that's not to say it's a bad thing. I just wanted to further expand upon that topic, so I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions about the choices possibly being erased from the first season and how Telltale will handle Season 2 in a new approach. So basically we all know Season 2, no, it's not Season 2. Season 1 ended in a way where we basically found out about Faith and Narissa, or we can go after her, or something like that. I guess you can explain it I guess you can explain it like that. There's also a bunch of determined characters whether or not they've went to the farm or got killed by Bigby, so that's another interesting topic. And then there's some other things that like don't really matter, that it really only matters in like the Season 1 story, like going depending on like which location you're going to, or like for detective work, I guess you could say. The only thing I could think of that's related to that is Prince Lauren's death. Maybe that could be related, but other than that, I don't think that's going to be really a big deal. But the reason I want to mention these choices, the determinate characters and the ending choice with Narissa, is because this is 7 years ago, and I understand that Telltale wanted to go with the new approach, the old Telltale Games wanted to go with the new approach of Wolf Among Us 2, where they didn't really want to follow up the Season 1 ending. So I know that the new Telltale Games has a new story started from scratch, but something wants me to believe that they're going to go with the same approach, not with the story, but with like the same approach of how they deal with the player's choices from Season 1. So basically, all the choices I mentioned, like giving Faith money and telling Beast the truth about Beauty, and then maybe something else like did you interrupt Snow's eology, and what place did you investigate first, those won't matter at all because they seem like things that don't really relate to the second season. They don't relate to... They could determine the characters' like feelings and emotions, but I don't think it'll be related at all, and it's not really a thing Telltale really wants to bring because it's not really that big of a deal. But they could bring it up. But something I want to talk about was that I think Season 2 could be a soft reboot. So when I say soft reboot, it sounds kind of weird. I know it's technically a sequel, but if the approach they're going with not making choices matter from the first season to the second season, something wants me to believe that they're going with a soft reboot approach. So basically, this is not, there's not really a good definition of soft reboot, but basically what the soft reboot is, like, it's basically everything's still canon from what happened in the previous story, but there might be some things that are like not mentioned and they're going for like a new approach. You could legitimately just call that a sequel, but I feel like the approach, if they're not going to make Season 1 choices matter in Season 2, is going to be in a way a soft reboot, even though everything is still happening. But considering it's been so long since Wolf Among Us has been released, it wants me to believe it's going to go to like a soft... Excuse me again, but it really wants me to believe that they're going with a soft reboot approach where it's still going to be a sequel, but are they really going to mention all the choices mattering in Season 1? You could technically say that A New Frontier is a soft reboot in some ways just because they try to do something new, but I think that it's still considered a sequel. I know this is like a bad example of explaining what a soft reboot is, but that's basically just what I want to mention, and obviously it's not a soft reboot exactly, but it has elements of a soft reboot where they want to, in a way, forget what Season 1 was, if that's the approach they're going, and maybe focus more on like the Season 2 story instead of continuing from Season 1. It's been 7 years since the Wolf Among Us ended, and realistically, does everyone have the save file for the game? That's my question. Like, I don't think anyone realistically has the save file for the Wolf Among Us. I'm not saying that no one at all does, but I think people still do, obviously, but I feel like a lot of people in the fan base will forget about what happened in season 1. It's kind of like with The Walking Dead final season. From what I've noticed from YouTubers that were like not hardcore with the franchise, that knew everything about it, they pretty much forgot what happened in season 1, like the little element stories of it. But they still continued it. Obviously, it's a sequel, and the choices still matter from season 1. But obviously, it's really hard to like remember because it's been so long. So that's why I feel like season 2 could take a different approach by making it like everything fresh. Bigby will still be the same. Snow White will be the same still with their characteristics. But with the approach with the season, they're obviously going to focus more on the season 2 story more than the season 1 story. I could be entirely wrong, by the way. It could be possible that they maybe want to continue with Narissa storyline somehow in the game, and we can see what happens with that. But will anyone be really interested in that? That's my question. I know a lot of people in the Telltale Games fanbase are still interested in the whole Narissa storyline, but I don't know if it's really a good approach to like make that as a season 2 story. I'm not saying that they couldn't, but they could technically, but they really have to like basically they really have to appeal to like new fans as well. And so obviously the old fans are going to be excited for Wolf Among Us, but really the new fans are like important as well, because they need to like in a way like tell them you need to get this game, and it's basically have to advertise it as a new story, obviously, and that any players can join in the game. That's kind of like the issue with The Walking Dead the final season. You really had to play the previous Walking Dead games in order to get interested in the final season, in my opinion, because if you don't, then you're just gonna be confused to the heck of like what the heck is happening and who is this girl pretty much, and who is this kid, why should I care about this kid exactly. I know they developed AJ and Clementine's relationship in the final season, but my point is, you have to really appeal to the newcomers in the game, because that's the whole point. It would be kind of dumb if, obviously you want to satisfy the fan base and the old players who played the first game, and you have to stay original to like the true formula of Among Us, but at the same time you have to make new players get the sequel, obviously. So that's kind of like why I think they're most likely not gonna transfer choices from the first game to the second game, and if they do, it's gonna be like minor choices in my opinion. So that's pretty much it for this video. That's what I think about how they could handle the Wolf Among Us 2, and maybe in a way making it a soft reboot just so new fans can just jump in. Actually, that's what A New Frontier did. I'll mention this again. A New Frontier, the whole point of A New Frontier was that they were trying to get in a new player base, like new people to join the game as a new fresh start, which they did in a way, but they did not satisfy the old fans at all. It was a horrible approach, and there was some storylines that were iffy in the game. So in a way, you could consider A New Frontier a soft reboot to the franchise, I guess you could say. But yeah, don't quote me on that. That's just my opinion. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I want to know you guys' opinion, because I do think Wolf Among Us 2 will be considered a soft reboot. I know it'll technically be a sequel, I know, but that's just my opinion. It's like them going for a new approach with the Wolf Among Us franchise. So yeah, that's basically my opinion. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you guys did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, share, subscribe. It really helps our channel a lot. And I'll try to think of other Wolf Among Us 2 theories. I know you guys mentioned some others, but they're really hard to talk about because there's not a lot to talk about them. But I'll figure out a way, like that song, whatever, Drake and Josh. I'm being cringe right now. I'm gonna go. Have a good day.